Hey, beautiful girlfriend. We are so glad you are here with us today. I am talking with Miranda Mathewson. And you know what I love is women's stories, and our stories connect us on kind of a whole different level. It's that emotional level of knowing that you've gone through something, that you've come through the other side, and we get to cheer each other on, or we get to, have those heartfelt moments of, oh my gosh, I went through something similar. And today, Miranda's story is going to touch many hearts as we have children. And sometimes some of you maybe were told you couldn't have children, and then maybe there was a surprise. So we're going to get into her story. But welcome, Miranda. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we've chatted several times, and it's just been really good to get to know you. And I see you exercising and leading women into better health. So tell us a little bit about you and where you're coming from, and a little bit about what you do before we dive into your story.
Okay, so I live in Denville, New Jersey, a little town about 40 miles west of Manhattan. And it is a beautiful day today, which we totally deserve. We have had lots and lots of snow, and today it's like 75 degrees. So it's like, wow, what is happening? So what I do currently is I help women who feel overwhelmed and out of shape get back in control of their lives by harnessing the power of their fitness and health. So yes, I do teach fitness classes, but it goes a lot deeper than that. And I have an online membership for women who want more support and accountability and guidance with their fitness and health goals.
Yes, and I mean, and that is so important because we have choices in how we age. In fact, that's going to be our next issue of our Being Brave Tour magazine, is choices in life and how we want to age and what that might look like. And I have to say, it is so much more fun when we've got a girlfriend by our side.
Oh, so much more fun.
Yes, girls. I'm in a workout class. We meet every Monday outdoors. So whether it's 38 degrees or 82 degrees, whatever that looks like, we're out there working out, but we're cheering each other on. And I think that's, even with our stories, with our magazine, and with the ladies that we bring here, that's what the fun thing is to have these girlfriends by your side cheering you on, going, yeah, you can do it. We got you. Even like you said, that overwhelm, because some women who haven't worked out, that can be really overwhelming just getting started.
Even like if you've been going at it and then you fell off because life happened, that can be really, really frustrating. Yeah. But there is a way to stay the course without driving yourself crazy.
Yes, absolutely. Well, today we're going to focus a little bit on you and your story. And so tell us a little bit about the circumstances of your brave story.
So, well, it all began in my late 30s when I decided, oh my goodness, I wanted to have children in this life. And here I am in my late 30s. And I did have a boyfriend at the time, not a husband, but I told him what I was interested in doing, which is IUI cycles or IVF, whatever I needed to do. And he was game. So we went ahead and we did an IUI cycle, which is intrauterine inception. And that didn't work. So I was surprised too. I was like, oh, this will be easy, but then couldn't get pregnant the normal way. So tried the IUI. It seemed like, oh yeah, this will work. Nope, didn't work. So then we tried IVF. And that is a whole thing. If you have been through IVF, God bless you, because it is a whole it is an emotional roller coaster is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And people who have not gone through that, not relating to it, but yeah, I heard that it's just all these emotions. And how long were you on that?
Okay, so an IVF cycle lasts for the cycle of your period. So it goes with your period. So it's a month-long cycle. And at the end of it, you're doing shots. You're giving yourself shots every day, not the fun kind, But if you're afraid of needles, you get really unafraid really quickly, because I was afraid of needles. And by the end of it, I was like giving myself shots here, there, and the other. So at the end of the cycle, you get one big shot, and that's supposed to release the egg or eggs. And then they retrieve the eggs and they mix them with the sperm. Oh man, it's like this whole big science project.
It
And
sounds
and then you have to go back and they put it all back in. So anyway, so we tried one IVF cycle and that failed. So at this point I'm getting nervous, like biting my nails, like, what? This is supposed to be easy. People walking around with babies. Why not me? And then so yeah.
You just mentioned something. Why not me? I mean, as that is going through your head, what are the emotions along with that?
Oh, crazy. It is an emotional roller coaster. Like, why not me? Here's these people. I knew people at the time complaining about how many kids that they had because they didn't believe in birth control. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll take one. So we did that one IVF cycle. Then we did another IVF cycle, and that one also didn't work. And then, dun, dun, dun. And then the doctor said to me, look, you're just not going to get pregnant. You can't get pregnant. And I felt like this iron body armor come down. Like, I looked him straight in the eye and I just felt like zoom, this wall came down, and it was like, oh no, I am going to have a baby. And my mind is running through all these scenarios, like, one way or another, I'm going to do it, whether it's adoption, whether it's surrogacy, whether it's borrowing one of my sister's eggs, one way or another, I will have a child. And I just looked at him in that moment and I said, I'm paying you, right? And he does this big sigh. Like, here's another one that's not taking my advice. And he's like, all right, we'll try it one more time. And I was like, damn right we will. And that time, I mean, it's such a mind trip. But that last time that we did it, that third time, was a charm, and it worked. And so when a doctor tells you that you can't do something, they know what they know,
Right?
but you have to do your own part too. You can't just throw all your trust and your life into their hands. This doctor told me to my face that I could not have children, and now I have two. So one of them through IVF, and the other one happened naturally 17 months later. So that was a surprise because I can't have children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you hear stories like this sometimes, like maybe somebody, ends up adopting or whatever, and then they have a child. It's like the body just needed the okay, or something triggered in there, whatever,
Yeah.
a hormone triggered to make the whole system work or whatever and light up. Wow. So
I've heard that before, but I never knew anybody that it happened to. And here I was, like, all giddy and pregnant, round two.
yeah. So, I mean, just, what I hear too is that a little bit of that, like, no, one determination, one going after that dream of something that you have, and just taking the chances, taking a little bit of risk of taking that next step, if you will. That is so brave. I think, sometimes we don't celebrate those little pieces in us, especially that determination of like, no, I hear you, but let's explore the options. What are still the options? There's still options available. And I think that's what I want to celebrate with you, because that's what I hear in you, because you can take that into other things. Just think of that lesson for your children too.
Yes. And it doesn't matter if you've done IVF or if you wanted kids and whatever. this relates to anyone who has been in a situation where someone has told you flat out to your face, no, you can't. And
Mhm.
you, if you want to, you certainly can. Let's
Yeah.
explore the options. Like you said, let's explore the options, and that's the lesson that I took away from it. Plus that feeling like, if I can do this, then I can do anything. And
Mhm.
that is how I feel to this day, with all the crazy business things that go on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It's like it's challenging every single day. And I just feel like I can do this. I can do this. So there's always that voice there now that tells me, hey, you did that. You can do this.
Yes. So were there people that came alongside you and supported you along the way?
Yes, my boyfriend at the time did become my husband.
Okay.
And so it's the four of us now living in New Jersey. I did have one of my sisters come up, and we were possibly going to use some of her eggs. She's 11 years younger than me.
Okay.
So she was alongside for the ride. Um, and I had a bunch of clients in New York who knew what I was going through, and I was working at Equinox Fitness gyms, and all my managers knew, I had to take off like every other day to go in for blood tests. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. So it was like a whole team of people that I felt supported by. So I'm very appreciative and grateful for that.
yes. So if there's a woman kind of in the same, maybe she's just starting out thinking, oh, I don't have children. We haven't, been able to conceive. What would you say to her?
I would say it's going to be a rough ride. I am not going to lie to you, but you stay strong and take it one day at a time.
So what are some of the toughest things that you had to walk through as you were walking that whole process?
Well, there's this mental dynamic where, if you've been through it, and like I said at the beginning, I thought, oh, I'm just going to get pregnant. And then the proof seemed to be that I wasn't going to get pregnant, because I had a failed IUI. I couldn't do it naturally. I had 2 failed IVFs. So the proof was in my face that I couldn't do it. And then the doctor was literally in my face telling me that I couldn't do it. So it's like just this mental knowing. And that's what I felt like armor came down, like I turned into the Terminator, and I was like, would the Terminator stop now? No. The Terminator doesn't stop until she gets what she wants. So that's what I felt like you said, maybe you're right, maybe I can't get pregnant, but let's explore the options, let's look at all the options, because
Yeah.
there were options. Maybe it wasn't going to happen the way that I thought it was. Maybe it was going to be adoption. I didn't know, but I was, pretty determined.
Wow.
Yes.
I think there's so many women who are probably walking through this, in the midst of it. And it's just kind of nice to know when you hear a story like this that you're not alone,
Yeah, for
that
sure.
somebody else got through it, and maybe it's a different outcome. Maybe the road, it looks a little different, but just, and I love that visual that you did of that armor coming through, and that strength. I love having visuals. I'm a very visual person too. And when I was walking through my story myself too, I had a visual. My son actually created a picture for me with it through AI of
Nice.
something, a visual that I had in my head to kind of keep me going. And I have it on my phone today. And it was this woman in her armor, but the armor was, kind of tattered because she had conquered, and with this beautiful white dress flowing underneath.
Oh,
And
I love that.
kind of like you got through it. It was hard, but you did it, and you got through it. And I love that. And so when you said that, I'm like, oh, that brings back this picture for me walking through. And it's like, we have other things that we have to get through. And like yours is your book of proof that, yeah, that determination got me through that. Looking at some of what what else could be. I love that. I'm hanging on to that piece myself, because when we hear another woman that has done that, it's like, yeah, I have a situation that I might need to apply that to, that little bit of determination. I heard a woman the other day say that determination will get you further than motivation.
Oh, 100%. Motivation is a fair weather friend. I tell my clients, do not rely on motivation. Because when you want it, it's not going to be there. It's all about the commitment, which in turn can be determination. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, going into this news story, because you help women, that determination, what does that look like when women are going? Because I'm at that age, it's like, I've decided I have to work out.
Okay.
There's choices and I'm choosing to work out. So how does that determination look for different women that maybe they don't have that yet? So how do you help them kind of get that determination or discover it, or what does that look like?
The trick is to know why. Why do you want to work out? Know your why. And this is true in business or having babies or anything. But you know what your why is, and then you have your commitment. So you focus on that commitment rather than waiting around for motivation to hit. So when you're committed to something, it means you're going to take action whether you feel like it or not. And that's what it all comes down to, is that you have to take action, especially when you don't feel like it. But the trick is that it doesn't have to be a big action. In fact, it should be small, because you want it to be repeatable and you want it to be something that your subconscious mind can sort of get around. Now I'm getting all sciencey.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to slip it past your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is going to try to keep you safe and keep you locked in to what it considers to be safe, which is what you're already doing. So you need to take a small action, especially when you don't feel like it. So that could be one push-up. There's a book called Mini Habits, and that is the example that he gives when he started to do his workout routine. Was he couldn't get himself to do 30 minutes of a workout, but he could get himself to do one push-up. So that's a good example. I create short videos on YouTube, 10-minute videos that are totally doable. And if you can only do 5 minutes, then set your timer for 5 minutes and stop when 5 minutes is up. If you only want to do 1 minute, set your timer for 1 minute and stop when that 1 minute is up. But then that way you start to build trust with yourself and the belief that you can do it. And then you can add on as you want to, rather than trying to do this whole big thing and change your life in a day, which, let's be honest, always fails.
Yes, it's that consistency. So, even just relating this to your story, isn't that kind of how your story went too? You had a really strong why. You wanted children.
Yeah.
Always. And then you took the steps to make it happen. And as my why is I broke my arm and my leg at the same time a couple of years ago. And I lost a lot of muscle because I couldn't get up and move. I did whatever I could, but I really lost a lot of muscle during that time. And I thought, and my parents are aging, and I thought, if I don't do something different, I'm going to end up, an older person without muscle. And what is that going to look like? And I thought, so I started working out all the time, and I have a history. I've been very consistent in working out. I really like to work out, but I had to create a new why. And it was because I had no muscle in my legs. I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to do something. And I was on my computer so much. I'm like, I got to start moving. So I started every hour just doing something really light.
Oh, that's great. Every hour, and you just do something a little bit. That's similar to what I did when I had my first baby. I was like, oh, I can't work out for an hour anymore like I used to. So I would do 2 minutes of squats while waiting for this, or when he's like on the play mat trying to lift his head up, I'm doing abs on the floor next to him, like a little bit here and a little bit there. And it all counts. And it's empowering too. When you take those small steps, you feel like you have control over your life again. And that's super empowering.
Oh, that is empowering, having that control over your life. I love that. And then you also talked about feeling safe. Our body wants us to feel safe. And sometimes when we're trying to do a new habit, it doesn't necessarily feel safe. But maybe if we could make it a little bit playful, a little bit fun.
Yeah.
And remembering that why, it's like, you know what? I'm going to get it. If I do this like for the next 3 months and, lift a little bit, I might see some muscle. And, because especially with working out, it takes forever. It seems like you can lose it overnight, but it takes forever to build back up.
Well, what you said about working out with other women. And so that is a way of gamifying it. It's also a way to get immediate gratification, because we want that immediate gratification. And when you're working out, getting those muscles is definitely delayed gratification, and our minds don't like that. So we have to look for something that's immediate gratification, and that feeling of being with your girlfriends solves that. Like, you look forward to seeing them, whether you see biceps the next day or not,
Yes, because we laugh. We laugh because we're like, okay, I can't do this today, or no, you can do it, or we're just laughing at ourselves, or with ourselves, and it does. And so, like, I never wanted to go to a workout class, because you don't know anybody there. You're with other women or other people, but you're not interacting with them.
No, you're not. You're not interacting.
No, and so that's why it's like this camaraderie that I was missing in my life.
Yeah. So that's one way of getting the immediate gratification. Of course, putting yourself in a class in a gym will make sure, in most cases, that you get through the workout, and you sort of get in the zone. So that can be immediate gratification for somebody else who likes to feel like they're in the flow of something. But there's different ways to get that immediate gratification. Some people are self-doers, and they get the immediate gratification from just like doing a workout video online. A lot of people are like that. I'm not.
I'm like, I don't do that one.
I like to teach and interact and all that stuff. I like the interaction too.
I like the interaction. And the other one that I really kind of gives me kind of life, if you will, is I love to bike and I love to swim.
Wow. Yeah.
So I love also being by myself. And because when I bike, I feel like a little kid.
Yes.
That freedom that you first felt like when you were out on your bike by yourself and your parents let you go, and you're just out there all by yourself and having fun, and the wind's blowing, and it reminds me of being playful and having that freedom, if you will.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And I think that I don't know when we lose that, but if you've lost it, you need to bring it back.
Great feeling. It's great.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. That feeling.
Because you just leave everything behind, because you do have to pay attention. You have to be really present when you're biking and swimming, and or even when you're working out, you're in that moment, and it's just so great to leave the computers, the screens, the responsibilities, all that behind, and just be in that moment.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. It's lovely. Yeah. So as we close out, what would you like to leave the ladies with your story, with all that you do? Because you can incorporate so much of that story into your, that why, that determination, that getting through things, taking a little bit of a risk. It seems to be a part of your life. So what would you like to leave the ladies with?
I would say, there's so many things, and I've pretty much said them all. But the one thing is, take action. I mean, whatever it is, action beats anxiety, action beats depression, action beats everything. Take action. And it should be a small action, but whatever it is that you're holding back on, I'm going to say it again, take action.
Yes, that's a great thing. So, ladies, what action are you going to take today? My mind is going, okay, what kind of action do I need to take today? And mine is, I need to take an action on stepping out and working out today. And it's been really cold and rainy here in Seattle. That's where
Okay.
and we actually have sunshine. So my action today, okay, girls, you're going to hold me accountable, is I am going to go for a walk. I'm going to get out there and build that strength in my bones and go get some fresh air, even though I'll bundle up because it is cold out there. It's only about 34 degrees. But yes, I know we're still cold out here. And yeah, so anyway, ladies, if you have a story, we would love to hear it because every story is relatable to someone. And there's a woman out there that needs to hear your story. And Miranda, I'm so glad that you came and shared your story. And so how old are your kids today?
They are 11 and 13, and I am a 53-year-old mom. I had the first one at 40 and the second one at 41. So it's possible.
It is possible, ladies, and we can share the possibilities together and what those opportunities in life are. And we just want to say, yep, we're here. We're going to cheer you on. And Miranda, again, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.